Hi, I'm John Townsend from James Townsend & Son, and this is a little update video for our herb garden episode. I've got Ivy back here working on the weeds. The weeds popped right up. It's only been a week or so I got her working on that. Let's talk about, I've got some plants to add to this garden, but let's talk about the marigolds I planted in the first episode. The marigolds that I planted were French marigolds. And the marigolds that were listed in the book were he probably meant pot marigolds or English marigolds. Pot marigolds are difficult to find in garden supply centers, at least in our area of the country. It's not the kind of a marigold that people are normally putting in their gardens. But you can find the seeds. You can find them online or sometimes at garden seed centers that have a good selection. What you want to look for are seeds that say calendula, and those are the proper kind of pot marigold or herb marigolds. Those are the ones that are used most often in medicines and in eating, although they did have French marigolds in their gardens in the 18th century. They also used them for eating, just not as much. Mostly these were used as a coloration if they were going to use them in cooking. They weren't really sought after as a food or as a medicine necessarily. So luckily, my neighbor had some calendula growing, and she allowed me to borrow some from her garden so that we can have some in our garden. And here's what this particular plant looks like. And you can see the leaves are totally different than French marigolds. I do have some more plants to add to the herb garden. Here is rosemary. This is one of the plants that was mentioned in the comment section. It's also a very common plant to use in 18th century cooking. And this will be a great plant to add, but in a garden like this, in our northern climate, this will not overwinter. If I want to keep this year after year, I will have to pot it and take it inside, or just live with it as an annual. The next plant I've got here is lavender. This is English lavender. It's one of the plants that you'll find referenced in 18th century botany texts, and you would find in a garden like this. It's not necessarily used as a food plant, but they would distill the fragrance out of this, and they would also use it in medicine. So it's something you would find in a medicinal garden or an herb garden like this. This is just a standard dill, and dill is very popular for pickling in the 18th century. You see a lot of references to that. And the last plant I've got to add today is purslane. And purslane's a very interesting story. It's one of those plants that was very popular 17th, 18th century, and then it completely falls out of favor, at least in North America, and is sort of forgotten. And only just recently has it come back into favor. Purslane is a very nutritious plant. In the 18th century, they used it as a salad plant. They also pickled purslane. They would use it in soups, and it's got some great nutritious qualities that have really brought it back into the fore. Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure to stay tuned as we continue to work on this. I'll probably be working on the fencing, and if you've got ideas for more plants for the garden that are appropriate, make sure to give them in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to our channel, I want to welcome you. You can subscribe by clicking the button right up here. Also check out our related videos. Thanks so much for watching.